are a couple days from Valentine's Day, so I wanted to get up a Valentine's Day inspired tutorial, get ready with me, whatever. I do a Valentine's Day look every year just because I love the vibes of Valentine's Day. I love an excuse to dip into pretty pink makeup. So that's what I did today. I have some new products that I've been wanting to test because my Lisa Eldridge order is finally in my hands. And then I picked a lot of pretty pink stuff that I just wanted to use and shop my stash. And then of course, I'm trying not to be annoying today because we're a couple days from launch. But my collection with Odens, which is a Valentine's Day themed collection, is launching February 14th. 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So of course I wanted to get my first look up. So this is what we're using for the Valentine's Day look. Lips as well. I also have Singe Beauty, Angelica Nikas brand brushes to apply the eye makeup. Did I lay it all out? I think so. Okay, let's prep the skin. Come on in nice and close. Don't get scared. I only bite a little bit. I need to hydrate the lips while we're getting in on this. Just grabbed some Laneige. Last year for Valentine's Day, I did like an entire face of only pink makeup. And I would have done that today, but I want to play with my Lisa Eldridge stuff, and that's not pink. But I'll start off with a pink primer that's brand new that I've been wanting to play around with some more from One Size. It just looks so pretty and pink for Valentine's Day. This is the Base Thinner Pearl Serum, and you can mix this into foundation to change the consistency and glow of it, and that really does work. I've tested it with the ABH foundation, and it completely changed the finish of the foundation, but today I want to use it as just a base. I think the only time I've demoed it on camera has been mixed in with foundation, so I wanted you to see how it sits on bare skin, and I think it's just so stunning. It is skincare infused, of course, and it has some really pretty gold pearls in here, but not unflattering. Like, it soaks in so beautifully. It feels like a lovely actual skincare product, but the glow it gives is so stunning. I don't know, I never thought I'd be excited about a product like this, but my skin quite literally drinks it up. It loves this. So we're gonna let that set, and I'm gonna work on my eyebrows. I've been asked the last couple of times that I've posted my looks on Instagram on my stories, what I did with my brows, how I got them to look so good. So let me show you. These are like my favorite brow products, how I get them to look very good, if I do say myself. No surprise, Rare Beauty Eyebrow Gel, one of my favorites. My favorite, not one of them, the favorite. So a lot of times, you know, my makeup doesn't look super amazing every time I do my makeup because I'm always testing stuff, and I'll apply them in a way that's easiest for me to test and not necessarily what looks the best, and sometimes the product, of course, is not the best. So I feel like I can make my brows look really nice with the right products, and the gel is really where that begins. So whenever I get to use my Rare, I just know it's going to be a good day because it lays the hairs just right and gives my brows so much volume just in the way that the spoolie separates each hair. I really have full control of every placement of hair, so I'm going to let that dry down. Now, for foundation, I have a couple of different options that I thought would come to me before filming, but no, I'm still talking it out because I have the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Enhancing Tint, which you guys have informed me I definitely bought a shade too light. I got T3 and somebody advised me T6 might work for me, and I did a little test down here and it's like a tad lighter than my neck, but I could make it work. But since it is a tint, and I kind of want to go a little bit more coverage, as much as I want to use the Lisa Eldridge, I think I'm going to use the new Lawless foundation. This is the Forget the Filler Skin Plumping Line Smoothing Foundation. And while Lawless has my favorite lip products, their base I haven't felt so confident about. I'm just going to have to use Lawless for the look that I'm going for today. But make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel because I will be updating you on Lisa Eldridge. And they sent along a foundation brush, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I have the shade 2F. This is like kind of pink. I think 2F is going to be the one for me. Yeah. Faux show. I do have a darker shade if I need. It's very thin. They do have a concealer as well, which honestly is a bit dry. It's not my favorite, so that's why I wasn't too sure how I was going to feel about this foundation. Now the foundation is very liquidy, and the brush that they sent along does not have enough density. I mean, I guess it makes sense that the foundation is liquidy, so this doesn't have a lot of density in the brush, but I personally want a little bit more ability to push the product out, because you can see how this is just, so this has pretty light coverage, but it's a really good shade for me. Guys, I am so nervous about my launch with Odens Eye. I'm so excited, first and foremost, of course, and so grateful, but I'm filming this content a few days before you're seeing this, so I really don't know how it's gonna go. I think today is the last pre-film day for me because I want to get some content up in real time after seeing what you guys have to say about this product. But I'm so excited. So this week, or upcoming week, feels a little different for me. My schedule is a little different than normal in anticipation for this launch. This is just so exciting for me because I never thought I would be able to do anything like this. Because to be honest, like, I'm not very good at being a visionary here and coming up with even a color story, apparently. I definitely was put outside my comfort zone. I love to review, but creating, I was like, about. So this whole position that I'm in, I feel so out of my comfort zone, but I'm like so happy that it's here. So anxious. I feel like this is sitting a little dry on my skin, and I did put that one size down first, but I also wonder if that has to do with the brush as well, because I feel like I couldn't push it in properly. So let me go in. This It Cosmetics brush is everything. It's very, very thin. Let me get my mirror nice and close. I feel like it has a matte finish. I didn't expect it to. And it looks a little dry. Like, I feel like the one size would look good mixed in with this. But I'm not fretting yet because sometimes as my natural oils come through and the foundation settles, it can actually end up looking even better and wearing even better because of that. So it doesn't look bad right now. It looks like it's trying to be airbrushed, but it's giving a little more dry than airbrush. But we'll see. But first impressions is not a love, but it's not a dislike quite yet. I can see potential with this. Let's go ahead and continue with brows. I'm just using a fine eyebrow pencil. This is from House Labs. And I like to use brow gel first because I find it so much easier to fill in the sparse areas after because I know exactly where I need to be filled in. Also, it requires a lot less work. I'm just going to use a really light hand to draw a line down here. I feel like this is what makes it look really clean when I fill in the lines. And anywhere that you see sparseness, go in. And then the final trick, Makeup Forever Boundless Bisque. It's just a nice light cream pencil. This is going to make it look really clean. Then blend that out. It's a soft powdery pencil, so it works out. Since I don't know what direction I'm going with the eyeshadow, I'm going to go ahead and do eyeshadow now. So to prep my eyelid, I'm going to take a little bit of my Cali Ray brightener in the inner parts here, blending this out to hide the blue. Just a hint of House Labs concealer, which will be the concealer I'm using today once we get in on the under eyes, just to create a nice even canvas for ourselves. Milani Eye Primer. And as I mentioned in the intro video, I start off every single one of my looks with service, which is gonna do us a service here. And I'm just gonna press this all over the lid, and this is going to make the shadows really easy to blend. I don't want to build up any pigment. Just want it to help service our blending. Then if you want to highlight the brow, which I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use a flat shader brush to build up some pigment here. Just like so. I was envisioning doing a chocolates and strawberry kind of look, and oh, I did it. I wasn't sure, that's why I did one off camera to make sure it was gonna turn out, and it's going to, especially when we finish and blow out the lower lash line and then add lashes. So I'm taking the EO8 from Singe Beauty and I'm going into Amore, and I'm just gonna use the flat side of that to press Amore in the inner and outer corner. I'm gonna use Amore as a blush too because it's just the most beautiful pink blush. So you see it's quite pigmented to begin with. And then I'm just going to blend out the edges a bit, blow them out. We'll be back to this shade to continue to build this up because there's a lot of layering here. I'm gonna take my finger into Valentine, and this was the shade of this entire palette. This was the shade where I was like, I need it because it really fulfills the Valentine's Day theme, but I'm not sure how much I'm gonna use it, and here I am. It's just such a pretty creamy consistency, and it adds an instant pop to the look. And this is pretty tapped on top of a gloss for a lip as well. So I'll also be back in that color, but I want to start building up the chocolate. So I'm going into Affirmation, tapping off the excess. I didn't get too much fallout, but still want to be careful. And I'm circling this in the outermost corner, keeping it low, kind of against the lash line. Then also pressing that on the inner corner as well and circling that. This is the E10 brush. This one is a little powdery, but that's so that you guys can get some good opacity. So start circling this and mixing it with the pink, creating that strawberries and chocolate effect. I had a different idea. Well, I had another idea for strawberries and chocolate that I want to do too. But it's just a little bit more classic with like brown in the crease and then pink all over the lid. I wanted to try a halo eye today. And now I'm going to use E11, which is the perfect kind of pencil brush, into Quality Time, which is going to give us the most depth. So I'm keeping this shade the lowest, tightest to the lash line, and circling this inner and outer corner, slowly taking our time to blend that out. And now, since we were going back and forth with such dark shades with different tones, I want to bring back some of that pink. So we're going to start off with more of Amore. Take some of Valentine again. Get some of that pink to show. So biased here about how yummy. And then for that halo eye effect, what did I use? I used Heart. I had to have a light shimmery pink in this palette. It was a must for looks like this. And this shade looks so pretty layered on top of Amore or Valentine as well, if you want it to look even more pink. And I brought that all the way up to the brow bone. Taking a small brush, just making sure everything is well blended and seamless into one another. Because with these shades, it can be a little difficult sometimes to get them look super blended, since they're not next to each other on the color wheel. Softening out, there we go. Oh. I think I brought the dark brown a little higher on this side, so we'll match that up here. Blending so well. Okay, then I'm taking the Persona eye pencil in the shade brown. Gonna tight line with that. And then I'm also just going to run this in between my eyelashes. And I'm taking the E12 brush, which is my favorite brush in this launch, just smudging that brown. Now I'm going to go in with the darkest brown shadow in my palette. And you can use that darkest brown shadow on its own, but since there's a lot of competing colors, and since I did actually use the darkest brown in the look, for the most depth, I wanted to have that pencil underneath. But Quality Time is able to be used on its own as eyeliner. But for this look, I just needed that extra bit of depth. I'm just using that to set. I love it. So I just went and cleaned up underneath my eye. I didn't have much that needed cleaning up, but I want to make sure there's no shadows since we are using pink. I don't want to look sickly. So I definitely also want to use a color corrector to get all of the darkness out. So this is the Cali Ray Hideaway Brightening Under Eye Serum Concealer. This past year, I really got into using color correctors on the under eyes. I think pink and peach can make such a difference depending on what eyeshadow color you're wearing. So especially when you get into colors, cool tones, blues, purples, it's really important if you have under eye darkness to brighten it up and color correct if possible, because sometimes that darkness can seep through and it can challenge the colors that you put on your eye and make you look really beat up, honestly. So it's just that little bit of pink is gonna help. And then the concealer I picked up was the House Labs, which is one of my favorites. This is 11 Light Neutral. I'm gonna put just a little bit on my cheeks. BK Beauty A506. You can just brighten up underneath this whole area. I want to be careful because with using pink like this, with the Valentine shade, it can make you look sick and like you have pink eye. Just using shades in that color family if not placed properly and color corrected around the face properly. And then lastly, what I'm about to say is going to sound so annoying, but I picked up the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Pinpoint Concealer Pencil, and I don't have any zits to conceal. For once, I don't have any zits to conceal, so we'll have to come back to this, but I thought it would be fun to try and see if maybe we can get my moles to disappear. It might not be able to work because it's literally brown dots on my face, but we're gonna try it because I love the concept of this. It's like a gel pencil, so it applies creamy and then sets down. It's brown, so it's hard to see. It's hard to cover. No, I think it needs to be with like zits. I should have tried my freckles underneath. You know what I mean? That might have been better. Because it's not doing anything for these. Which is fine. We'll have to come back to this. I'm mad I didn't prioritize this in the beginning. She'll return, don't you worry. But I love the concept of that. And you know, I've had concealer pencils before. This one is different because it's like an eyeliner formulation. So like I say, it applies creamy, but it dries down. So the idea, especially when concealing zits underneath, it should dry by the time you put your foundation over top. But do be smarter than me and do that before your foundation. I don't think I have any other cream products to apply, so I'm gonna set. I definitely wanted a baby pink powder, so I went in with my, I'm going in with my favorite Huda Beauty Cherry Blossom Cake, which is my favorite pink setting powder because it's not too pink, but it actually does brighten. So I'm just gonna relax my face and press in. And I'm mostly just focusing that on my under eyes. And then also right here. So I'm focusing on where I want to blur. I might come back in after I do bronzer and blush just to shape up and snatch. But for now, I'm focusing on where I want the powder to blur. And this is just a sponge from one size. And everything looks very snatched right now. So we'll be back. We're not setting this one away yet. Now to do a little bit of bronze around the face, I'm using Hailey's Beauty Smooth Contour Powder in light. I didn't want anything too warm, so I thought this is the perfect color. Rephr number 5 brush, and I'm gonna start it where I would like to contour and then brush it forward. I brought a warmer bronzer if I feel like it's necessary, because this one's nice and cool tone. If you have a cool undertone, I think you would like it. There's a hint of pink as well, which I think flatters this look. I need a good setting spray. Taking the E10 brush. Let's do a cute little contour down the side of our nose. Then I'm using my concealer brush to kind of blend that in. I think we could use a little bit more warmth. This is an old bronzer from Dior, so I'm not even going to list it. But this just has a little bit more warmth, and I picked it up because it had a nice pink center. This is from like 4 years ago. By law, it's expired. But not by my law. And that's just going to add a hint of warmth. Not too much. Okay, I want to put some setting spray down since we have a lot of powders piling on top now, and I do have dry skin. A really good one for scenarios like that is the Cosmetics Divine Water Perfecting Mist. Let's do it. I'm gonna try and avoid the eyes if possible. Okay, I'm gonna give this a few minutes to soak in because I have to finish uploading a different YouTube video right now. So I'll be right back. Lower lash. I'm gonna take I'm gonna run this along the entire lower lash. And I don't want to blend it too low because I don't want to have pink eye. Don't want it to look like I have pink eye. But I want it to go lower than, because I'm gonna take the same brush. No, let me take something different. I'm gonna take an even tighter brush. I'm going into Quality Time. No. I'm taking a tighter brush. I'm going into Affirmation. I'm gonna line my lower lash line, but I want that pink more to peek through. And then I'm gonna go into Quality Time. And again, take a little bit more of Amore, blend her out. And then I'm gonna go into Quality Time with an angled brush. I want to do a little boop just to make the eye look bigger because I do have smaller eyes. So extending this is going to make the eye look bigger, and if you want, I always talk about millennial me cannot resist like the tiniest wing. That's it. See, I don't have the pencil, so it's not as dark, but you'll see it's still pretty dark. I said the littlest, babiest wing. I am full of it. I think since we did that, I can actually go a little bit more intense on my lower lash line. So I'm taking some more of Quality Time. Let's smoke that out a bit more. I'm debating if I want to put the brown liner in my waterline, because that would instantly make it quite smoky. Let's do it. Why not? And I'm taking the brush I used to blend out Quality Time. We're gonna get it nice and smudgy. When I created this palette, I envisioned a lot of like light looks, light, sparkly, pastel-y, but you don't have to do that with this palette. Like, look at this. And now I'm gonna take just a little bit of Service on a shader brush, and I'm just gonna press that right here to brighten everything. You see that fun little spark that gave? It just brightens everything, and if you want, see this shade. It's just so helpful. You can even kind of highlight underneath the liner. Again, to clean it up, add a little bit of brightness to it. Now for blush, I have to use Amore, and I said in my video yesterday, my biggest mistake with this palette, my one regret, is not putting it in the corner, because I didn't realize it made such a pretty blush until it was too late. But this is the most perfect pink blush ever, an Odens eye. If you want to put this in a giant big single pan for me, I would greatly appreciate it. Like, look, that's the most perfect baby pink blush without being, on my skin tone of course, too light. Because let me tell you, a lot of these really popular baby pink blushes, they're just too white on me almost. they don't quite look right. This gives that look of baby pink, but not horrible. And it really adds cohesion since we used it for the crease of the strawberries and chocolate look today. Oh, and if you want to be cute, it's Valentine's Day. Let's just have some fun. Put a little bit on the nose. Okay, and then I did want a little bit of glow. I have this highlighting blush from Bare Minerals, and I'm going to just glaze this over the highlight area. Perfect. I'm just gonna go back in with Cherry Blossom Cake. Gonna be a little old school here and snatch her up, just like that. Now I'm gonna go ahead, take my time and do this off camera. You're not gonna miss anything. I'm putting Lancome Definicils and Monsour Big on my upper and lower lashes. And then I'm applying Ardell 428. Same song and dance every time, that's why I'm not showing it. Yup, I did that. I did this. Oh, okay, this turned out so good. Let's do lips. I bought a new Lisa Eldridge Sculpt and Shade Lip Pencil in 0N. This looks like the most perfect contour shade, and it is. Turns out I've already tested it. Does this set down? Look at that. Oh, and I love the consistency of this too. It's like dry, how I like it. This is the perfect background for lip color. There's two that I was between. So beyond just the Love Language palette, I also came out with 6 different lip colors. And I'm in between two for this look, Kisses and Love Language. So Kisses is a shine lip gloss, which is full pigment. I'll show you. And I created this color to go with purple, pink, and blue eyeshadows. This is that perfect neutral shade for said colors with a lip liner exactly like this one from Lisa Eldridge. This is gonna look good with purple eyeshadow. Designed it specifically for that. I think it also looks good with pink, but I think we can go pinker just for today's look. But best believe, if I had more purple on my eye, this shade would be incredible. It's also incredible with blues, incredible with any cooler tone shadows. I'm super proud of that shade. But I guess we can do, since this has more pink, this is the shade Love Language, what the collection is named after. And this is their Glow Shine lip glosses. I can't remember the formula at the top of my head. Glow lip glosses. And the other formula was the Shine lip glosses. Anyways, now the Glow lip glosses, they have a little less glow, but I think they're really good at hydrating the lips and hydrating whatever matte color you have underneath. This shade, Love Language, is a glaze of very light pink over the lips. Look at this. This is the most stunning. I think it's pretty unique, but I'm biased. Look at that. It's like 90s icy lip, but a little bit more updated and modern. I don't know how they did it, but the glaze that this gives. It's icy, but not like metallic. And this combo with 0N Lisa Eldridge. And side note, this color also is great with like purple and blue looks as well. Now my sweatshirt looks crazy. I did not expect to go so full glam for this look, but I honestly could not help myself. Let me have my moment, guys, okay? I've never created anything before. I love what I did. Like, I really, wow. So here is my Valentine's Day makeup tutorial for the year. I didn't expect to go full glam. I almost want to do like a softer, more natural glam because, you know, that's kind of my wheelhouse. But I'm pretty freaking obsessed with this makeup. So I will have all of the products that I used linked down below. Kind of an update on the foundation. It's settled in. It's looking good. It's looking a little makeup-y, but I have makeup on. I'm not that bothered by it. So that will be linked down below as long as the shades I used. And of course, don't forget my Love Language collection with Odens Eye, including the beautiful palette I used today, the lip shades I used today will be available on Valentine's Day, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have any questions about that, I'd be happy to answer them in the comment section. I will have more about that in more videos. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm just so excited. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful and enjoyed your time. Happy Valentine's Day to you guys, and I will see you later. Bye guys, have a good one.
It's delicious.